house scheme. This is one that I think many of us are highly anticipating. So please, one more time, let's give a round of applause for Dr. Sadiq Sulaiman Abdullahi. Thank you, sir. Let me get it right and do the right hand before my mum tells me off.
Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dr. Sadiq. I am Chairman Board of Directors of Billard Realty Limited. We are a value-based real estate company headquartered in Abuja, Nigeria's capital. Over the last couple of years, an odd decade or so, we have built an organization and subsequently ecosystems on core foundations of sustainability and excellence. I'd like to speak about sustainability very, very quickly. So for us, sustainability means unmatched returns on investments. I repeat, unmatched returns on investments, and we'll be seeing some of that in the presentation, and giving residents in our communities a 360-degree lifestyle. So all communities are centrally gas reticulated, fiber optics, safe spaces for your kids to play, safe spaces for your spouses to jog and cycle, energy management, and we also think about the environment, so low carbon emission, renewable energy initiatives, as well as deliberate efforts in social investments over the last couple of years. So without further ado, I'll proceed to make the presentation. Okay, so my outline looks something like this. We'll be looking at Nigeria as an emerging market, deficits to opportunities, facts and figures about Nigeria, about us, Billard Realty Limited, real estate investment opportunities for people in diaspora, our projects, why should you partner with us, why should you pick Billard Realty? There are hundreds, maybe thousands of real estate companies in Nigeria and the West African continent, but why should you partner with us? Our sustainability initiatives, our partners, your investment journey, and I'll take your questions if you have any. Now, usually I like to start from 30,000 feet. Some macroeconomics for foundational insights. So just some quick facts about Nigeria. So according to World Bank in 2023, over $470 billion USD GDP, a population of over 220 million, according to the IMF, and 900,000 square kilometers of land. Interestingly, also interesting to note that 80% of that land is arable, so whatever you plant in Nigeria grows. 0.58% HDI, and 31st out of 215 countries in GDP. So I picked PPP, so purchase power parity rather than nominal. Now, when we all think about Nigeria, the first thing that comes to mind is an oil-rich country. And residents living in and out of Nigeria generally assume that hydrocarbons or crude oil, as it were, is the highest GDP contributor. Well, not exactly. If you look at the top 10 GDP contributors, you'd see that hydrocarbons is somewhere around fifth place. And you look just above it is real estate coming in with 6%. And I want you to keep this thought at the back of your minds as we transition through this slide. So hydrocarbon contribute, so oil, crude oil resources contribute just 5%, then everything else. As a matter of fact, if you put together real estate, which has contributed more than hydrocarbons, and you pick construction, because more or less the same industry, just a different value chain. So combined, construction and real estate contributes or contributed about 10% to Nigeria's GDP last year. Deficit to opportunities, like with any other emerging market, we have sector deficits, but with the right galvanization of private sector efforts and accelerated development policies, we could convert those deficits to gains. So whether it's infrastructure deficits, energy deficits, or access to microcredit. I read 2022-2023 PricewaterhouseCoopers report, where they said the micro, small, and medium enterprise space requires somewhere between 600 and 800 billion naira to click and explode. However, for the sake of this presentation, I'll be dwelling on the housing deficit. So we see how that presents us with investment opportunities in Nigeria. Now, how large is the housing deficit in Nigeria? Well, according to the Central Bank of Nigeria, Federal Mortgage Bank, and Credit Data Fight, the housing deficit as of today sits at about 28 million. It has grown by 300% between 1991 and 2023, and it's for the simple fact that the population of Nigeria is growing in geometric sequence, while we're just putting, 50K per annum, 150K per annum into the housing stock. So that is why the deficit keeps growing larger. What is the size of the real estate market in Nigeria? Well, according to Statista, the size of the real estate market in Nigeria is somewhere just at the doorstep of $2 trillion. And by the end of 2024 ending, the real estate market in Nigeria will eclipse the $2 trillion mark. The African real estate market is somewhere around $16 trillion, and Nigeria takes a large market share. And in the entire value, or put together aggregate, the value of the real estate market in Nigeria, residential real estate takes the cake, somewhere around 80 or 85%. So residential real estate accounts for $1.93 trillion in Nigeria today. So what is Bilal Realty Limited's market share? We've been able to build a tidy portfolio of well over $300 million since we commenced business. And if you look at that in comparison to the entire real estate stock, it represents 0.02% of that 1.93 trillion. Modestly impressive, if I may say so myself, if you consider the hundreds, maybe thousands of real estate companies that operate in the respective markets that we seek to gain and retain market share. And if you look at the duration we've been in business, just a little under a decade, I believe this is modestly impressive. As mentioned, I'll not dwell on this. We're a value-based real estate company with sustainability and excellence are initiatives, and our vision is to become a market leader with global reach. We have a team of competent, committed professionals. I have the honor, privilege to lead the board as chairman board of directors. One of my board members, Ross Oluyede, is here with me today. Has had an illustrious career from consulting to energy management to infrastructure development and investment banking. We also have a competent team in our management. Our current project portfolio, so this is just a trajectory from when we started business to the current year. So we started from a modest 14 million USD, and in just about 7 or 8 years, we built our portfolio to way over 300 million. And as far as market segments is concerned, we serve 3 distinct market segments. We serve luxury clients, mid-premium clients, and mid-premium clients. Now, down to the meat of the matter. What are the real estate investment opportunities that we have for our people in the diaspora? I'll be speaking distinctly about 3 investment strands. The first one is the obvious one, which is home ownership. Home is where the heart is, and no matter where your professional sojourns, your cultural adventures, marriage, whatever it is, I think it's only sensible for you to own property at home for so many reasons. Conventionally, when people think about home ownership, they think, oh, okay, if I'm not around, I could rent out my house. This is 2024. With one house, you could set up several investment streams. You could go into fixed asset debentures to fund the other businesses, because obviously there's a distinct difference between ownership and possession. There's so much you could do with it. So home ownership, and we have over 1,500 homes across 11 well-curated communities in Abuja City, and we'll be looking at some of those projects. Another investment strand is asset-backed tokenized investment. I'll be speaking about this in the next slide. So if you have a healthy portfolio and you don't want to buy a house to keep it, maybe you already have houses littered all over the place, Lagos, Port Harcourt, etc. You could invest your money in an asset-backed tokenized investment. I'll explain this in the next slide. Then the third and final investment stream we have to offer you is the oldest trick in the book: buy, hold, and sell. Key in when the development just started, then after it has appreciated in value, you sell. It will interest you to note that our assets have appreciated by between 60 to 300% in the first 36 months of development. So essentially, the most or the least lucrative location has given investors 60% appreciation in 36 months and the most lucrative 300%. Please do not take my word for it. I invite you to do your due diligence, contact our teaming clients and residents across any of our communities and verify these claims. Now, about the asset-backed tokenized investments. As part of a vertical integration strategy, Delight Realty Limited over the last couple of years have made deliberate investments in the real estate value chain. So established subsidiaries, either strategic or autonomous business units in ethical fund management, facility management, automation, renewable energy, all in pursuit of operational efficiency and excellence, sustainability and profit, and all-round leadership and business excellence. So one of the subsidiaries that we established is a company called 117 Capital. It's fully licensed and regulated by the Securities and Exchange Commission. So a couple of years ago, when we launched this product, the Collective Investment Scheme, we started with a small portfolio of about $1 million. At the time, $1 million translated to 600-700 million naira. And the product got subscribed by over 300% within the first 2 months. Now, let me explain very quickly how this works. So we hand over the portfolio to 117 Capital, and they break it down into tokenized investments. They are backed by law to do that. We are a real estate company. We can't. And these investments steadily, over the last couple of years, have returned investments of 12 to 16% per annum to our investors. For those of you that have money in Nigerian banks, you know you will not get beyond a single digit. If you get maybe a 4 or 5% on your fixed deposit or savings account, it's because you have an 8 or 9 figure deposit. Now, this type of investment is ethical for 2 reasons. Number one is attached to an asset. I'll not go as far as saying it's zero risk, but if you have money or investment that is attached to a fixed asset that you can liquidate, the risk is pretty low. The second reason is because by obligation, the fund manager is required to declare excess profits if it does better. Now, I'll quickly take us through our project portfolio. Like I mentioned, we have 11 well-curated communities with inventory stock for you to invest in. So I'll start with my pride and joy, Amazon in Maitama. For those of you that know Abuja, this is the primest location in Abuja. 20 fully detached 6-bedroom villas, all fitted with personal cinemas, gym spaces, and elevators. We also have seashells. Again, if you know Abuja very, very well, this is just at the foot of Jabi Lake, 8 fully detached villas. We have, I believe this is sold out. Yes, this was our first project ever. So this was project 001 for the Delight Realty. We delivered this about 6 or 7 years ago. So this is Bobawasi Island. We also have Bora Bora Island in Wuye. Exactly, I wanted to say I believe this sold out as well. Project value 21.4 billion. We also have Fiji Island. Fun fact, our communities are named after islands and the house types are named after precious stones, because we believe your home should be a serene place like an island, and the home that you buy should also be. So when you hear Fiji, Bora Bora, they are the names of the communities. Then the type of the houses, so you see sapphire, topaz, that type of thing. So we also have, this is our largest community at present. By the time we hand over completely, phase 1 residents are already living in it. So this is where phase 1 residents are. There are about 400 families that will be living here by the time we're done and we'll move to one. As mentioned earlier, sustainability initiative. All fully gas regulated, fiber optics with low carbon emission. We have biodigesters for our waste management, etc. So we also have this project in Gwarinpa. We have Mauritius Island. It's a unique project because it has a 9-hole golf course. Very, very prime area, the minister's quarters. The Bahamas, Buzape district, Asokoro extension. We designed this like a resort, so 24 fully detached villas with the leisure facility smart grid in the middle. Then this is our most recent addition to our project portfolio. We just launched this two months ago also, Mangawi Island in Meitamatu. Now, why should you choose us? A couple of reasons. One, competence in terms of our leadership, in terms of our corporate social responsibility initiatives, which I'll be speaking about, in terms of our corporate governance initiatives, strategic partnerships with manufacturers and OEMs. So for people who deliver communities in our category, you can't beat our value proposition. And we also have made concerted efforts for investments in R&D via what we call University Industry Collaboration, UIC. So we get the brightest minds, pick them up at the early stages of their careers and see how we can incorporate that into growing our sustainability initiatives. We have a BBB rating plus from a credible rating company called DataPro. I'm also happy to note that we're the only real estate company north of the Niger in Nigeria that has a BBB plus rating for our sustainability plan. We've invested a lot in CSR. I'll be speaking about that in passing in the next slide. We have HSE policies which take into consideration ISO level construction standards, health and safety. We partner and collaborate with small and micro and medium enterprises for wealth creation and continuous improvement across the value chain. I'd like to speak about this very quickly in a minute or two. I'll be rounding up. I believe I have 5 minutes left. Now, over the past couple of years, Bella Realty Limited has delivered value of over $500,000 in corporate social. Okay, thank you. So over the last couple of, so we are not just obsessed with growing our company, and so when we say sustainability, it's in how we develop and deliver the communities. It is in how we give you a 360-degree lifestyle. Sustainability is also in how we make social investments. So we incorporated a platform, an incorporated trustees platform called Bella Development Trust a couple of years ago. And through that platform, we have made CSR and SIP investments that have delivered a value of over $500,000 in 3 focal areas: education, entrepreneurship, and change advocacy. So we've given loads and loads of educational scholarships to the brightest mind, linked most of these young, brilliant minds with mentors in their respective sectors that they are interested in. We have partnered with small and medium enterprises and other business groups to provide grants, IT penetration, financial intelligence, link some of these young women with business mentors so that the respective entrepreneurial spaces can thrive and explode. And finally, as change advocates, we also continuously engage other development partners to see how we could come together, stage and deploy larger interventions. So I humbly invite you to join us in our service of humanity and change advocacy. We do not just build houses, systems, etc. We're also very, very heavy on giving back. So for more about what we do on our incorporated trustees platform for CSR and SIP initiatives, you could check out everything that we're doing and we intend to do on belladevelopmenttrust.com, our website, and our social media handles. I think this is the penultimate slide. So as mentioned earlier, we've made deliberate investments as a vertical integration strategy over the last couple of years. So we have established and incorporated companies across the value chain, fund management, hospitality, etc., in pursuit of excellence, whether it's operational efficiency, business leadership, etc. So these are some of our partners. I just spoke about Bella Development Trust now. So there's City High Tech, construction, Larima hospitality services, Simplify, automation and clean renewable energy. I also spoke about 117 Capital earlier on. Then there's also Wet and Dry, ready-mix concrete. Then Conservus Limited. We're heavy on sustainability. So if we sell you a house, we have a maintenance and sustainability plan. We want your grandchildren to inherit the same valuable, pristine property that you bought in 2024. So for these other partners, Jaiz, GT Cooltage, they are partners not within our ecosystem. And just for the record, we don't micromanage this company. Once we set them up, they have competent management, competent boards, so they only serve us as clients and they go out and gain and retain market share. Now, let me permit me to lead you through in your investment journey. I have a booth set up and I have a competent team with me here today. So speak to my investment advisors. I have some of them here with me today. Speak to them about and select your investment options from everything that I've mentioned. We also traveled with a mobile office, so you can commence and conclude paperwork, make a subscription payment, and voila, your investment journey has begun. Now, before I sign off, I'd like to leave us with a final thought. This quote is credited to Ahmed Zaki Amani of blessed memory. I believe he passed away in 2021 also. Academic, politician, administrator. He was Minister of Oil and Mineral Resources for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia from 1962. I'm done. This is the penultimate slide. Thank you so much. So the Minister of Oil Resources from 1962 to 1986, also OPEC Minister for 25 years. He said this, and I quote directly: the Stone Age did not end because the world ran out of stones, and the oil age will not end because we ran out of oil. Now, you could skin this in 13 different ways, but still land on the following common denominator. Change and disruptions are going to happen whether you prepare for it or not. So I urge you to change how you perceive and how you create wealth and economic prosperity. I advise you invest in real estate, and I strongly advise you invest with Bilad Realty Limited. Thank you so much for listening. I hope to take your questions and engage with you further as this event wears off. But I'm sure my team members will be happier to take your money. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. What an awesome presentation. I feel like owning so many houses now. Where is the money? And I hope all of us. Right. Stone Age did not end because the world ran out of stones. Neither will oil age. Thank you so much. I will return this quote. We as ADC, maybe you are asking yourself, how do we come in? Did you realize that? You see, oftentimes I get to people who have the fear to invest in Africa because they have the fear of the unknown. Let me not say any other thing. Now, we as ADC, a company registered in the UK, we are starting the partnerships to give you the opportunity to go through a body here in Europe. You do your business with Bilad through us. At the end of the day, you know that you have a little more people helping you to drive your investment. And that's where ADC comes in. So, when you want to go through us in diaspora. It's not costing you more. This is clear here, right? It doesn't cost you more. You go, you negotiate. But if those fears you know you have are still there, kill them. Because we are with you to support you in making sure that your dream comes true. We talk a little more about that. And many of those information you will find also in our website. Right now, I want to also recognize Mrs. Rose Aluyede, who is board member of Bilad and who came here today. Oh, Mr. Rose, please forgive me. You see, one thing I like is I better be the one that make the mistake than allow you make it. Because then I have a way of asking, please forgive me. They say we should become, I'm a feminist. So I usually talk. Don't mind me. Okay, and I want to also use this opportunity to recognize few persons. And you know what? Before I even go into this, who is not a dignitary? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. You are not a dignitary. Raise your hand. Everyone is important. But sometimes we have to call a few names. It's Proto. It's not like anyone is not important. So allow me to introduce and welcome somebody like Engineer Nunu Nabiam, the Prime Minister, the former Prime Minister of Guinea-Bissau. If you're here, just wave your hand. We need to see this face. Sir, my network don't grow. Okay. And I like, you see what? My father was a former preacher in the church. Oh, he's a late man. He's late, huh? He usually wake up up early morning to pray. At that time, I didn't even know what prayer is all about. Why am I waking up so early? And one day, I was to take an exam. I had something that made me not to feel well. I have to fast. Papa said I should always fast. Omo, this is how I keep my food. I was just looking at my food. And God, you know what I'm passing through. It's 12 o'clock. You know, but God answered that prayer. Whether you're Muslim, you are not even going to have any faith, or you're Christian, any faith you have, always believe in it, believe in that faith. So I want to introduce somebody, Deacon. You see why I'm saying that? We have a deacon here. Deacon Chris Iyowoye from Nigeria, Speaker, MD, and Wellness Group. Please wave your hand. Yeah, thank you so much. Somebody was already giving me signal of time. But important people, you give them time, please. Right now, I want to introduce also, welcome Mr. Abdullahi Brahima. He's a delegate from, Sierra Leone High Commission. Please, sir, this is your wear, this is your clothes. You go find me one who I like them. this one where I speak now, you understand them? So I like your dress. Please, sir. Yeah. After we can talk about that. Okay, High Chief Imatrons, aka Federal Representative, National Population Commission from Nigeria. Please, if you're here, raise your hand and wave to the people. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. You're welcome. At this juncture, I want to welcome one of us. Are you ready with the Zoom? You know, it's always good to do some technical things. Do like you are digital, you know, digital. Digital is sexy. So we need some zooming. Are you ready? If you're ready, give me a sign. I love sign. Don't let this thing be like politics, where things change
Good afternoon. Present. Yeah. Can can I be heard? Can you hear me? Yeah. Good. Thank you. Thank you very much. My name is Jimmy Okoro, and I'm the founder and CEO of African Manufacturing Innovation Hub. I want to believe I'm being heard. How do I get an indication I'm being heard? I am speaking. Yes, I'm speaking. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can I get a message that you can hear me so I can proceed? I have unmuted. Oh, brilliant. Thank you very much. Sorry for this glitch, and I will not take much of your time. I'll just go straight to the presentation while I introduce myself. My name is Jimmy Bomo Okoro. I'm the founder, CEO of African Manufacturing Innovation Hub, and I'm here in this presentation. We'll talk about our relationship with ADC and the opportunities that we have for the African continent. First of all, let me give you a brief introduction of what we are and what we do. So, we're a technology incubation hub, and we established to create top quality products and services that you will see through the robust incubation acceleration of trade in Africa. Yes, Mr. Bruno. Okay. Ten minutes, I'm done. We started. Thank you very much. So, back to the meat. Um, African Manufacturing Innovation Hub is a technology driven incubator that we established this organization to produce high quality top products. And in order to achieve that, we and African Diaspora Cooperation, we are in collaboration to determine ways to promote technology tailored to Africa's needs. We are here to showcase technology developed across the African continent and to enhance advanced technological skills in Africa. And I'm going to share with you some of the specific homegrown technologies that we have. Our technologies at AMI Hub is based on three critical infrastructure: artificial intelligence, GSM communication, and Wi-Fi. With this, you may get a 24/7 assistance through AI. You can query data efficiently using AI assistants. And of course, you can instruct the AI to perform specific tasks on your behalf. Thank you very much again. So I did say that AMI Hub, the foundation of our technologies,
And helping to strategize for us. Please permit me to welcome on stage High Chief Ainabe to speak on investment. Chief Ainabe, are you there? Chief Ainabe, please come up. Oh, thank you so much. Please come up. Chief Ainabe is our chief strategist. All about him you will read on our website, in our Roku and everywhere. So permit me to allow you.
Thank you so very much. A very good afternoon to you all. My name, as you all know, is Jonathan Anabi. I live here in the United Kingdom. I also happen to be the Executive Director, Planning and Strategy. So permit me to stand on all existing protocol. Thank you for listening. Today, you have listened to the bed of ADC. You have listened to the visions of Venus, and I'm sure you've also listened intensively to the Billard property vision. Some of you will be wondering, how does that relate to ADC? This is where we come in. For far too long, Africans has been denigrated along the globe. Not only have we been dehumanized, we've also been disadvantaged. In addition to that, we have a term that they call us, and it's called developing country. Forgetting the fact that the mineral resources and the brains that the developed world used to develop their country actually comes from Africa. Thank you. It is as a result of this initiative that 15 professional men across the world came together and says, what can we do to change this narrative? And we decided, at first, we're going to set up Nigerian Diaspora Forum International. And this is simply to cater for the needs and welfares of Nigerians living in diaspora. And then we had a light bulb moment from one of our directors and said, aren't we being selfish here? Why Nigerians when there are a lot of Africans? And then we said, how do we then engage our sisters and brothers in the continent? And we thought it would be much more better if we do so by actually having a business connotation along the charitable side of it. And this is why we created what we now know as Africa Diaspora Corporation Limited. So you can see the link between the Nigerian Diaspora Forum International and the African Diaspora Corporation Limited. Then you ask yourself, how exactly are we involved with the vision of ADC, the vision of Venus and the vision of Bilad? Now, we are focusing on encouraging, working alongside diasporans to redirect their resources financially, intellectually, otherwise, back to developing the mother country. And to do that, we felt the need, rather than buying a property here in the United Kingdom, in the US, in the Western world, why don't we do the same back home? I am sure you have all been privileged to see a lot of heartbreaking videos online where those of us living in diaspora would have worked so hard, send our resources back home for our brothers and sisters to build us a house, and then you go home, they say the house was here before, but it disappeared overnight. You are all too familiar with that. And if this is done to you by your father or your sibling, what can you do? You came from the same source. You can do nothing. So, we want to stop that narrative. Stopping that narrative means that we now partner with Bilad and says we will work with our members, Africans in diasporas, as long as you are from African, whether by birth, hereditary, by marriage, otherwise, as long as you have one affiliation or the other to Africa and you identify yourself as African, we will work with you. And we expect you to work with us to actualize that dream. And this is why we worked with Bilad and to make sure that we can bring our partner to them on a payment kind of an arrangement. You are all too familiar to the arrangement we have here, and it's coin mortgage. I think that word is a bit too colloquial. So we refine it and call it partnership, where we get you straight to Bilad. We work with Bilad and yourself to make sure that you have the property of your choice. We make sure that we guide you in the process. So all those fears you have that you're going to send money back home, is going to disappear, or the property, the building is disappeared overnight, those fears are taken in. And that is because Bilad and our company are now in partnership together, and we are working tenaciously to make sure that this dream becomes a reality. So you can see the relationship between ADC and Bilad. Then let's go to the very important one also, healthcare. How do we fit in? We have 15 partners, and of these 15 partners, we have about 8 of them that are medical doctors or otherwise. So don't be surprised when you hear Dr. this, Dr. that, Dr. this. It's because we took our time. We knew what the mission is. We knew what the vision is going to be. So we were looking for people that has the capacity and the experience. We also have a pastor in our midst, somebody who will make sure that we stand in the line of integrity. And it is on that basis we approached Venice and said, look, we want to design a health plan. We will get Africans living in diaspora to patronize this health plan. You will execute it. We will finance it through our diaspora brothers and sisters. It was a new concept. They were wondering, how do you do this? How are you going to do that? We said, don't worry. Give us your existing plan, the policies that you have for Nigerians. For months on end, the doctors went to work and they came up with a blueprint which they sent to Bilal, I beg your pardon, to Venice. And Venice analyzed it and said, this is not going to work. It's too advanced for us. And then we call their attention to the fact that our clients, our exposed clients, they knew and know what medical insurance is all about. So therefore, if you are going to get and work with us, it's going to be the policy that we are bringing, not the policy that you have, you want us to give to our brothers. And what is this policy all about? You are too familiar that when you wake up in the morning, getting ready to go about your day, that phone call comes. Oh, your mom, your dad just fell and is in hospital, or he or she is not feeling well. We need some money. It could well be the day you don't have money in your pocket. What do you do? Oh, just take them to the hospital and I'll rally around and send money. And many of us has lost our loved one as a result of that delay in sending money, or we sent money, the money was not used for the purpose it was originally intended. So, what happens? We start planning for funerals. So, to eliminate that, we worked tirelessly with Venice, and we came to a policy. So now, you'll be able to take policy here in diaspora, pay for it twice a year or in one lump sum. You know, your mom, your dad, your loved one back home is medically taken care of. So in the event of emergency, you don't have to worry about not having the money in your pocket. All you have to worry about is let the phone call come. And then you say to them, take mom, take dad, take my brother, take my sister, take my daughter or child or whatever the case may be, to that hospital, and he or she will be looked after. And they go there, they do all the tests, they do all the diagnosis, they do all the treatment. They don't have to pay a penny. They walk out from the hospital. Isn't that a lovely experience? I would like to hear your reaction. Isn't that a lovely experience? That is the vision, and that is where we are coming from. That we want this new experience that we are enjoying in the Western world that make us go back home. We are able to dengue, they call it. You really just show there and say you're just from the land of the white man. But you have only been to the land of opportunity and exposure. So we are helping to transfer those experiences back home. So I am using this opportunity today to call on our diasporans, African brothers and sisters, to engage with us. Get to know more about who we are, what we are about, and what we think we can do together. Because there's a popular saying that says, if you want to walk far, walk alone. But if you want to walk well, work together so that by working together, we'll be able to achieve that collective ambition of redirecting our resources back to developing our motherland, stopping the brain drain from that country to another country where those brain drain are not even appreciated for who they are and what they have. So today is that new beginning, and I'd like to say thank you for listening. Please be part of us. We welcome you. Membership is free. I salute to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Anebe. I think you beat my co-host to it. He was about to give you that scary number, 5 minutes left. So well done. Every speaker knows what I'm talking about. Okay, so I mean, firstly, it's so encouraging to see that there are people that are willing and able to really take Africa forward. I'm encouraged, and I'm sure many of you are. And we can see as well that the African Diaspora Corporation is helping you mitigate whatever risk or concern you have when it comes to investing in the continent. So thank you to the ADC and all those involved and all your partners. Let's walk together and not alone. One thing that we definitely want to do more is to add more women to the narrative. Can I agree? Who said they were feminists? My lovely co-host said he's a feminist. I don't know if I believe him. But nevertheless, yes, we want to add more women to the narrative in Africa when it comes to the development of Africa. And we know that women are instrumental to building up nations. So our next guest is key to this. Her name is Lady Joy Zenz, and she is the CEO of Africa Women in Europe, Kenya. Lady Joy is a visionary leader dedicated to empowering African women and youth in SMEs through her platform, Africa Women in Trade. Her speech on women leadership, breaking barriers, and shaping Africa's future should be one that is truly inspiring for us all. So please, can we give a round of applause and welcome to Lady Joy Zenz. Where are you? Oh. We have to keep going. Remember the rule. We don't stop clapping until they get to the podium. Thank you.
Wow. Yes, we need more ladies. More ladies here on the stage. And I'm happy to present you. I hope I'll do a good job for you. And some of you who don't know me, as it has been said there, I live actually in Germany. And I'm Kenyan, but actually I say I'm from Africa. I remember last time we had conversation with the diaspora team when they were introducing me to join them. And I'm very passionate. I never left Africa because I've been here about 23 years in Germany. I've lived in UK as well 3 years. And we run a very strong organization called Africa Women in Europe. And I want to also represent here my co-founder and also a very, very passionate lady. We work together in the project. She's here. You can stand up and raise up. Her foot is not feeling well. She might not be. Are you going to make it? We're going to see you. Yes. And we're doing very powerful work. And today I don't want to talk about what we have done as Africa Women in Europe for over 17 years. I want to talk about what we're doing in Africa right now and more practical way. And I know my topic I was given to talk about women in leadership, breaking barriers and shapes Africa future. I thought maybe I should show it in real practice. What are we doing? We need to walk the talk. We stopped talking. And I want to, by the end of this speech, I want to make sure that you have an idea what Africa is bringing and what it has for you. But before I go there, we had a very good speakers here. But I want to correct something. How many countries are in Africa? We had a lot of discussion here. How many countries do we have in Africa? No. No. Actually, I was corrected this by, I was having a speech at Intra-Africa Trade Fair that happens every 2 years. Note this, and it will happen next year in Algeria. And His Excellency Albert Muchanga, I was doing a speech, I said 54. He's the Africa Union leader. And he told me, no, there are 55. Guess what? Today I was driven by a taxi driver from Somali, and he told me, no, we are not Somali, we are from Somaliland. And I said, then change the name. Then you're gonna be this 57. I don't think we need more countries in Africa, but please mark this, there are 55. 55, not 54.